right, Ambitions fans. Now, we do have 7 episodes left. I believe that season 1 has 18 episodes. We stopped at episode 18. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. This season 1 has 18 episodes. We stopped at episode 11. So we have 7 episodes left coming up later this fall. And this video isn't like a review so much as my quick thoughts on the show. And to be honest, and I say this in almost every Ambitions video, I get people telling me, it's like, Jeremy, you know what? I gave it a shot. I just can't get into it. And once again, everybody has their own taste. For me, I think it's a pretty decent show. I mean, it isn't the kind of show where I would drop everything to watch it live, because it does come on at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. If it came on at 9, I think I'd be more tempted to watch it live, because at 10 o'clock I'm either working on something else, and I'm really like a night shopper, so I love going to stores when there's not much of a crowd. Like, Target is only 6 minutes away from my apartment, so it closes at 11, so going from like 9, during that 9:30 to like 11 p.m. block, no people in there. Walmart's 24/7, Kroger. Yeah, I'm more of a person that goes out when there's less traffic, less crowds. Just my kind of way of doing things. But Ambitions, I do enjoy it. Sometimes I look at the clock like, damn, this episode, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's only been 10 minutes. So I guess in this video, I just wanted to highlight maybe 5 specific things that I like about the show so far. Number one, I think they really do pick good music, background music, whether it's just like an instrumental to, I guess you could say, add drama to a certain scene, or just songs that we all know, like, Brown Skin, If It Isn't Love, just to name a couple off the top of my head. And being someone who loves Black Lightning on the CW, just seeing how they implement, old school songs and new school music, I just love how they use those songs to properly elevate a scene. So I think the music is one of the key factors. And I think some music, especially instrumentals, I remember hearing in like If Loving You Is Wrong or The Haves and the Have-Nots, whenever they have like a dramatic moment before they cut to commercial, when it's like I can't really do it. My throat, my voice isn't at 100% right now, but it's that dramatic, like, it sounds like, what does it remind me of? It's like a creepy horror movie vibe that either happens prior to a commercial break or in the cliffhanger of an episode. So music is definitely a highlight for Ambitions. Number 2, the dialogue. I think the dialogue is pretty well written. There are many good one-liners. Like in the more recent episode, mid-season finale, wasn't it Stephen Carlisle that told Greg Peters to sit your pink ass down? And Robin Givens just... Most of the negative critiques towards the show, whenever I look at, certain reviews and whatnot, most people say, man, I can't stand Robin Givens, her delivery, it's too extra and whatnot. Honestly, I don't mind it. I think that Robin Givens is one of the more consistent actors that I've seen in her career. And yeah, I actually like her on the show. I really have nothing specifically negative to say about her, because, I mean, if anything, if I were to say anything about Stephanie, it would just be to slow down, because this woman is like, I think that when writing this show, Will Packer and the other people on his team, they probably saw how Veronica Harrington is like the star of the Haves and the Have-Nots, so they really wanted to create a Veronica-esque character and really put her at the forefront of Ambition. So I think that Veronica is definitely like the flagship example of what it means to create a true villainess in a series, predominantly, black people, as well as a strong female lead, and who's educated. That's one thing I do like about Veronica and Stephanie. They are educated black women, and unlike Veronica, Stephanie seems to have been born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She comes from a very powerful family who has a history in law, hence why they have a law firm. Veronica told Hannah that she came from the same side of the tracks as her and crawled her way out. So, Veronica was kind of like the trailblazer of her family, whereas Stephanie was born into it. But both are very devious, very controlling, very seductive, and aren't willing. Their ends justify their means. They pretty much will do whatever it takes to get to where they need to go. They barely have any friends. They just consider people in their lives useful, and if their usefulness is over or they feel like they've been wronged by someone, they either throw them aside, blackmail them, or destroy them completely. So I think that the dialogue is very well written for a lot of these characters. Hunter Purefoy, he reminds me of Foghorn Leghorn, just the way he talks, especially when it comes to, you know, black employees, but then Titus puts him in his place. It's just those moments where you know, Titus is like, you know, man, what a racist asshole, but to have the black man put him in his place, and then Hunter is a bit surprised by the fact that Titus has balls, but he makes great points. I actually like his character. I like Hunter Purefoy. Yeah, I like him a lot. So I'm really disappointed in Juniper. We only saw her like twice. So in any case, well, then again, it's only the first part of season 1, so I really don't need to be that harsh on it. So we have music and dialogue. Next up, the wardrobe. Everybody looks great. The people who pick what the characters wear, male and female, they do phenomenal jobs. You know, some characters are only in an episode for maybe one scene or one brief cameo, but they look fantastic. I mean, Bella True does fashion, but aside from that, everyone else looks great. You know, the suits, the dresses, even their at-home attire, it looks great. And I know, I've said this several times in different episode reviews, but that's just something I wanted to see. And sad to say, like, Senior was looking sharp in it. In that suit, he was going to propose to what's her name, Lucille, Lorraine, basically the woman from church, and Tilly got shot, unfortunately. So everybody looks fresh, and yeah, I'm going to withhold my you know, Daphne outfits, you know, especially when her and Evan have their little freaky deaky session. So yeah, okay. Then we get to my favorite two categories here: characters and pacing. I can't decide which one I feel is the best, but like I said earlier in the video, when it comes to the pacing of this show, I mean, there's a lot going on, but for the most part, I feel like I can't name one. It's only been 11 episodes now, so don't think like, well, Jeremy, like you're really sometimes harsh on the haves and the have-nots. Like you say, this episode was filler, or this scene was too long or boring. Well, that's because the show's been on for over 6 years, so of course I'm going to be a lot harsher on that than a show that's just started. But ambitions, for the most part, I can't really recall an episode review where I talked about a scene being way too long, or a scene that was, you know, not as long as it should have been. I think what the Ambitions team has done well so far is really establish that, hey, we have like a 40 to 44 minute time slot. We need to make the most out of every scene, not just every episode, but we need to make every scene count. Like sometimes in my reviews, when I'm taking my notes and then I'm reading the back for the review, like I'm reading the first scene, and then, hey, we briefly take like a 90-second trip to this place, and then we hop right back to the scene that we were in at the beginning. So yeah, there's a lot of scene changes, and I feel like that's what really makes me feel invested in the episodes. It's very rare that we stay in one place for an extended amount of time in any given episode. The one time I think this occurred was in the episode, was it Poison and Wine? It was the Women's Power Summit. It was the episode where Stephanie found out about Carly and Lori. It was the episode where she drank the spike, you know, cocktail. And, you know, like the first half of the episode was set up for the Women's Summit in the back half of the episode. And I'm not saying that was a bad thing, because that was one of my favorite episodes, but I just wanted to make a point to say that for the most part, we're always changing locations. Hey, we're at Thelma's place. We're at Greg Peters' office. We're at Evan's office in, you know, as mayor. We're at Stephanie's house. We're at Bella's condo, and the list goes on. We really switch things up, which gives the show a feeling of relief, because I never get bored, because we're never in one spot for too long. And going on with the characters, just the fact that every character, I'm trying to think, like, is there anyone I despise on the show? And when I say despise, I'm trying to think like, on the haves and the have-nots, it's Wyatt, Benny, Jeffrey, and Justin. But on ambitions, I don't think there's one character in terms of like, why are you even here? I think that ambitions so far is giving have and have not vibes from season one. I'm really comparing it to season one here. The fact that every character has a purpose, and yes, some characters have only made like 4 to 5 appearances, and some even less than that. But the thing is, whenever they show up, they serve their purpose. So I really do feel now Ambitions is off to a good start. I think that Ambitions is off to a good start. And I don't want to play favorites because, I have said several times, like, okay, I really like, Lori, not just because of a crush, but, what she brings to the table. I love Titus. Evan, I love to hate the guy because he's such an evil person, but not Stephanie level evil, but he can get down to that level. But the thing is, he has redeeming moments when it comes to his family, his sister, his dad, his children. But then he's a snake in the grass at the same time. But I think that's what the haves and the have-nots doesn't really do as much when it comes to their villains. They don't have moments that add humanity to them. Like, when was the last time we saw a moment on the haves and the have-nots where we felt Veronica express love or affection to someone? I'll wait. And I'm not counting, like her sexcapades or anything. I mean, like, showing love to like David or Jeffrey. And no, her and David, like, when they were getting back together, her Jekyll and Hyde personalities ruined those moments. Like, whenever she was like, "Oh, are you hurt? Well, I bet you learned your lesson now, huh?" And that kind of stuff. But with Evan, we just see those moments with his family versus his enemies. So I really do like the dynamic of that. So I remember doing a video a few weeks ago, and I think it was, and I even said in the video, it was too early to compare because when season one of Ambitions is over, I really will do a video kind of, going back and forth between the haves and the have-nots and Ambition season one. But Ambitions is doing very well, in my opinion. Once again, if you are into the show, I feel like you will feel the same way I do about certain aspects of it. I feel like if I get into Greenleaf and it's really good, then I will probably start doing Saints and Sinners as well, because my mom, every time she recommends a show, it turns out to be a hit. But I'm glad I'm on the Ambitions train because it just got on the track. So I feel like maybe as it gains, steam and whatnot, maybe that will lead to more views. But like I say, I'm in a damning position because my Ambitions videos get attention from the cast and the writers that the haves and the have-nots doesn't. Like, the haves and the have-nots gets views. They're the most viewed videos on my channel, but they don't get the retweets or shares from the cast members and producers and whatnot that Ambitions does. Like, the Ambitions cast will just do retweets and favor and comments, so just knowing they're watching is amazing. Now, the haves and the have-nots cast, we talk a lot and some of them watch them, but the Ambitions takes the next level, so it's really hard. I have to do both. Hopefully Greenleaf will yield to similar results, so we'll just have to wait and see. But with that being said, folks, those are just like my top 5 takeaways from the first chunk of Ambition season 1. The music, dialogue, wardrobe, characters, and pacing. Like, oh yeah, going back to the characters real quick, because I forgot to say this. Another reason I hate, like, Justin and Wyatt and everything on the haves and the have-nots is the fact that the show's been going on for so long. Some of these characters are so one note. Even when it seems their characters getting development, they regress, instantly in the next episode. And most of them just pop up in the episode because, contractual agreements like, hey, I've been signed on to do like 15 episodes this season or whatever. So they kind of remind me of Team Rocket in Pokemon, where they are in all, not counting the Black and White series, but they're like in every episode, and it's like, why are you even here? It's like you just show up to ruin the gym battle, or you just show up to try to steal Pokemon, and you waste 4 minutes time when that time could have been used to give the other characters development. That's one thing I do like about Ambitions. Like I said before, when it comes to like the pacing and whatnot, characters are there to serve their purpose. They're not just there to fill up the time slot. So I do feel like Ambitions is winning in that category. hopefully this show, and I remember when I was doing my reviews, I'm like, okay, each episode is getting better than the last one. Hey, that's all I got to say. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, if you are a person that's not into ambitions, like I said before, completely fine. Hey, it's up to you if you're into it. But if you are a person who does watch the show, who is enjoying the program, let me know your feedback to my thoughts. And on top of that, make sure you take a moment to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 90,000 subscribers before the end of the month. Remember, it's my birthday. If you want to do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. If you want to do a little bit more, there's a link to my PayPal. If you want to send a couple of bucks, say, hey man, get yourself something nice on your birthday, you know, a slice of pizza, a slice of cake, whatever the situation is. But if you don't have the money to donate, that's fine. There's a link to my eBay store. I have about 80 items that end auction sometime tomorrow on Friday. And, you know, just make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you soon. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.